Hello and welcome back to Phoenix Wise Ace Attorney, and today we are continuing where we left off, or where we ended last time, which was at the end of Justice for All, which has been 4 months now, and it's Trials and Tribulations, Turnabout Memories. Yep. Huff, huff. How did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to you're lying. Just like listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Phoenix? It wasn't me. I didn't do it. What? Oh. 5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. April 11, 9:40 a.m. District Court Defendant's Lobby number 3. Whew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Grossberg. Good morning. Mia. Please calm yourself now down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Let go of my lapels? You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. That's right. This is your first time in the big league, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg and I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you're surprising me. What with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case. You suddenly said and quite forcefully too. I just found out yesterday about the case, I mean. What? And you already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I got. Yup, I'll be fine, no problem. What's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Guy? Actually, it's right. Like the Flying Brothers, people screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please, let go of my shirt. That's right, he's the one on trial. Not you, he's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client and for myself. District Court, courtroom number 2. That's Mr. Payne, I think, as the prosecutor. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Yep, I was right. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can't really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It will all be over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a 4th year student studying pharmacology. It sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes. Well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body, and the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, they then called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well, the court accepts this photo into the records as evidence. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. I have no idea what that means. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defendant would like to take this question. A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. Yeah, sure. I am just looking at one thing fast. Sagacity. The quality of being sagacious? Similar words are wisdom and insight. Okay. Probably never remembering that word. Simple question. I thought I might loose you up a bit. I am gentle man, if you will. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show me what you are made of. A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cousin? the cause? Go on. Please say you know at least this much. Court records. Date and time of death, 4th 9 at 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electrical shock. I'm so sorry, I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here, the details of the case I filed on the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? The court record. I think I can see that by pressing the R1 button. All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the state there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I got to stay calm. I can't let the prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just pressed the L1 button here. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electrical shock. In other words, electrocution. But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun or perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why? Motive, of course. Apparently there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsies. I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That Winston Payne. For you, he's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and defendant? And this time I would like to see some supporting evidence. No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it in old Greybeard's face. Yes, sir, into old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg, can I just set a better example for the young lady? Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with the R1 button, so be sure to go over it. So, my superior and the head of Grossberg's law office. My client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. The victim, he was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. Phoenix Wright's girlfriend dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. Okay. Now then, let's see what you got. What was the cause of bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? Yeah. Dahlia Hawthorne. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Well, very well. Very well. Mr. Payne, please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What, the defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay? It's fine, after all. Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspect of... But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you, I was... Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his code to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. The victim and I. I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Huh? I see, so you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. It looks like the judge understands. You're being naive. You know, too naive. Huh? It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be... the witness has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? This guy. And it's the defense duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if the witness testimony contains any contradictions. If a witness is lying, their statement will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client, in court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see? What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now, that there was a lie, a contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Faye. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? I admit I was there, twice. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? Well, I'm not a killer, and all I did was find his body. You say you found the body, so who called the police? Unfortunately, it was some other student that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Witness who saw the defendant standing there, next to the body in shock. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Could you stop sneezing everywhere? Every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right, well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Now, see here, you can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I didn't know his name. News to me? Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who is Dolly? Who is this Dolly person? Ah yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. A young love. So bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Mr. Wright, you state the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even? But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well, he was always walking around with huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Did you see it at the crime scene, the Union Jack? I mean, yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishy. Fishier than a salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor? What is that? Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow. The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the stars and stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Mia, there's a contradiction here. Mr. Gosberg, quickly, now, show that boy you mean business, with evidence, I mean. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage your own from this point? I can handle it myself, yeah. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia. One more time from the very beginning of the testimony. Okay. I think this, due to he was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt, and there is no flag here. I guess that's... Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Faye, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there is absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He was wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the T-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body, but if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. Ah, Mia, you made your client cry. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicines for it? Yeah, I took some, but was the medicine that you took any over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It killed colds. Good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know that I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Will you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. You lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case, Mr. Wright? Shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene. What's this? In the victim's hand, it's... Hello? Sorry, my phone just rang. It's Cold Killer X. Yes, but even I got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to, especially since Mr. Guy's fingerprints are all over it. What? Since his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine. Took up by Mr. Wright and hid in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. Found clutch in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased to function when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this? This is really bad. My buttocks, my poor hemorrhoids. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 we split up. Then later when I went back I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid if you wouldn't believe it the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell us more lies. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And the story person is my kind of embarrassing. She's my sweetheart. What was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. He was in a pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet up. Was it Swallows who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah. And we were Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, and he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I shouldn't ask him something. So, you are absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab, whipping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on with your testimony. I want to ask him about the other thing out as well. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much though. A little bit earlier in your testimony you said something interesting. You said the department used strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltage, so there are high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables. Yeah, there were electricity poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Fine, I think we're getting somewhere. That's useful. Just so you know what I think, I'm pretty sure he just died from the cables being like... but they don't look like that they whipped. They're more like someone cut them. Which... I don't know if it's just how it was gone, but yeah, it does look bad. So what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. I've been taking cold killer for the last 2 or 3 days. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be sure. Be too sure. I always eat with Dolly. Just the 2 of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is one mystery that will remain. There is, Your Honor. How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is, you are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a ghost. Establish murder method. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we have heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie, but even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? The attorney must be able to substantiate their argument with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I totally forgot about that. Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. Yeah. As for the cause of death, I say this picture captures it quite well. What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in the photo is the murder weapon? There. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we heard? The machines that pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables sprung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cable. Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. No, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket, and you may know leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean? Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket, the palm prints of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder. He squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable. Order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us. We are done. Mr. Grosbeck, my hemorrhoids will never lie. Hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you were wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor? As this time, I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay? Is this what you want, Mr. White? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Fay. No matter what it is, you have to say. I believe in you, and I will represent you to the very end. We already established the defendant's guilt. There is no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute. Mr. Wright? I tell you what really happened. But I already told you, Mr. Wright, there is no need for further. I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that dog swallowed is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. But as things currently stands, We are all absolutely convinced you are. Please, please give me more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell you the whole truth. I'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you? I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing. The Harlem Shake, oh god. When I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. In that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried, so I went back, but he was just lying there dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Miss Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, the light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even Adolphus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he's innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. That guy who was talking bad about Dolly? I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A loud noise. And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like snap, you know. Come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground. The snapping sound. Ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise, you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Could it have been, hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it and broke it. That was probably the noise I heard. No. The umbrella is not under him. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah. It was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the whole bone. Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in the testimony just now? Well, of course, yeah. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No. The sheep umbrella is more than important, it's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. How perfectly fitting flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense request. Witness, please add a bit about the sheep umbrella to your testimony. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his sheep umbrella. A little while after, I started worrying and to get back, so I went back, but he was just laying there, dead. What is the new... Wait. So Mr. Soy fell on top of his umbrella, and you are certain of this? Yeah, I was right there under... It was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, he was planning on borrowing it for him. I was planning on borrowing it for myself. And the umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah. You see, I was wearing this sweater here. Doris stayed up late for nights at times knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to damp the handmade symbol of her love. My stomach. It's not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia. Oh, I'm so sorry. Continue on with your testimony, witness. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's argument earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it is by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. As the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell, in other words. After he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. Order. The victim, he moved. Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it present as evidence immediately. Owned by the victim, found broken near the electrical pole at the crime scene. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There is simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. But I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render its final judgment. No! I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when it happened. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling after? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess, you have another witness. Exactly, and this witness testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Mr. Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly. I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right, she was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at the court. We'll now enter 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. know what? I'm probably going to end this episode here and just cut this part into the previous part, and just cut out the introduction and the end of the video of the previous one. You won't notice anything. So thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. Subscribe if you want to, and adios. Have a great day.